Good afternoon, friends. It's Barbara here, and it's Saturday after Thanksgiving. I've been off on a reading week and just been spending some time in contemplation and thought. I won't be preaching tomorrow, but I did still want to connect with you in one way or another. And I haven't done a live stream in a long time. So if anyone joins me, please comment. Let me know that you're here. I was thinking about all the things that we were thankful for last week, and there were quite a few different things that were mentioned and had to do with our daily needs, what God has provided for us. But as the week went on and I was able to relax a bit, which is what I needed after the hectic summer with the move and with Nick's recovery, I realized that this quiet time was something for me to be thankful for as well. This weekend, this Sunday, in many congregations, you'll hear words about food and food injustice. There are so many in our country who do not have enough nutritional food. There may be lots of pasta and lots of rice, but are there enough of the extras? We get tired of eating the same things all the time, and just like we heard before with the manna in the desert, we get tired of the same old, same old. And sometimes a fresh salad or green vegetables, fresh tomatoes. We're still in harvest time here, in Hamilton, and there's lots of fresh things available. As we give, and we give to the food banks or the shelters or other similar places, we don't necessarily give because we have extra. So oftentimes we give out of our surplus when maybe we need to give because it's the right thing to do. That when we have been blessed, we are blessed to be that blessing to someone else. I was hearing stories of how people blessed others last weekend and how wonderful that was. We all have a certain amount of abundance, and yet we still want to go out and buy this one more thing, or we have all this meat stored either in cans, in jars, in the freezer, and yet it's not what we're hungering for. And I begin to wonder if it's really the food we're hungering for, the food that we're craving, or is there something else in our lives calling to us? That when we want to eat more cookies, we want to eat more snack foods like chips and pretzels and cheesies and chocolate bars. If we're really searching for something to feed our soul and not our stomachs, to feed the person we are as opposed to the body that we are in. Maybe that thirsting and that hunger that we have is for a sense of God's presence, a sense of peace, a sense of belonging. When I think about churches and communities of faith that gather every week, it's about belonging to something bigger than yourself. It's about belonging to a community, whether it's in your apartment building, your little street in urban areas, whether it's further out in the country or in the highlands where we were before. That community presence is what gives meaning to our lives. And when we see a need in the community, that's when we rise above giving because we have extra. It's when we see that need and it hurts our spirit that we give from what we have. When was the last time you gave to somebody? And was it something that was needed? Was it something special that you gave from a friend to a friend or a family member to another family member? Or was it as simple as a smile and some laughter? Sometimes what I need in my life is that laughter. Silly things like Mr. Bean and Lucy and Ricky, Big Bang Theory, craziness, silliness, and yet always having some meaning about it. I remember listening to Jackie Gleason speak one time so many, many years ago. And in every skit that they did, every show that they did on TV, it always ended with a couple making up, sharing an embrace or a small kiss in love. That's what, for me, giving is. It's about sharing in those moments as well as sharing from our pantry. But there is a real need in our communities, and oftentimes we don't even see it. We don't always know that someone only has $10 to get to the month and they've got half the month to go. Where are they going to find the money for the bread, the milk, for their family? I remember years ago when we went on vacation up to the cottage and we would share time together, but we'd have certain amount of money and we would divide it into the number of days we were going to be there, and that's how much we had to spend each and every day. So if the family wanted to go for ice cream, we'd have to look, well, that's the money we had for that day and only that day. And if it was more than what we'd allocated for any given day, then we'd have to save 2 or 3 days worth to do that. There was a need there and there was a reason we had to do that. But at the same time, I think it brought in an awareness of how much things cost. And it's not like any of my family were saying, but we need this, Mom. We have to have this, Mom. And it was not like that because that's not what I tried to teach them. It's like, we have other things in the house to eat. Go ahead. Or this is what we have for today. Do you want to spend it today or do you want to spend it at the beach tomorrow? But there are families who can't do that. There are families who don't know how to budget their household finances so that they have enough for food. There are basic things we need in our lives, and food and shelter are at the top of the list. And we can pray and we can attend worship and be part of communities, but sometimes we need more. And that's where each one of us come in. How do we recognize when somebody's a little short on cash? It's not something that people ask for. It's like, oh no, I don't have enough this week. I can't afford gas to go to work. I can't afford bus fare to go to work. It's too far to walk. I can't go to the grocery store. Oh, and I've already been to the food bank, so they won't let me come again for another month. That's a reality for many people in our communities. And if they're not able to easily ask for help, how do we care for them? I would love to know your thoughts on this, and you could leave a comment below. That would be very helpful. maybe I can put a few things together and share with other people. So I don't want anyone to go without. If you need something, let somebody know. And by doing so, you're allowing that person to minister to you. It may be their calling to minister to you if you have a need. Friends, I know that you are thankful in your life. I also know that sometimes life is a little much. It gets a little burdensome. I'm reminded of the hymn that we sang last Sunday, for the fruit of all creation. Thanks be to God. Thank you, friends, for listening. Thanks be to God for who you are and how you share from the blessings that have been given to you. We are truly blessed to be a blessing to others, and may you do so with God's help beside you. Amen. Till next time. Bye for now.